Halloween is that magical time of year where people can express themselves and dress up in absurd costumes. Every year on October 31st, people gather into the streets. Women, children, men, dogs. They all gather together and they dress in absurd, scary, and sometimes offensive costumes. Today I would like to talk to you guys about the history of banned Halloween costumes. So back in 2016, people across the US started terrorizing the public dressed as killer clowns.
Creepy clown sightings are happening across the country, and it's no laughing matter. There are concerns that the trend will grow as Halloween approaches. Here's Jamie Yukas.
It's a trend spooking the nation, creepy clown sightings.
These clowns would film themselves chasing people with knives, machetes. They would lurk in parking garages and local parks, and they would just try to get a reaction out of everybody. This period of time was known as the clown craze or clown pandemic. People were calling it all sorts of things. But because of these events, schools weren't allowing children to dress as clowns for Halloween. Retail stores started pulling clown outfits and masks from their shelves. And apparently McDonald's even pulled their famous mascot Ronald McDonald from public view, which, if you ask me, is the least intimidating clown. Unless he was holding a knife. Another banned costume apparently was a pregnant nun, which was banned in many churches and schools. I can kind of see why, I guess. This costume was obviously offensive to people with Christian beliefs and that type of thing. Another thing about this costume was that it had an umbilical cord with a rubber baby at the end with devil horns, which sounds like a pretty kick-ass baby. So in many regions, schools had a no violence policy, which, due to that, they ended up banning pirate costumes from the school. I guess to them, the eye patch and the toy plastic sword were seen as aggressive themes, and I can't help but wonder if they taught any history lessons in that school. One school even labeled pirates as promoting criminal lifestyles, but in all of my life, I've never seen somebody commit a crime dressed as a pirate. So sometime in the early 2000s, the sexy costume craze took hold of the Halloween season, and it infected every store nationwide. You couldn't escape these sexy costumes. I mean, they were everywhere. I mean, just to name a few off the top of my head, we had the sexy Buzz Lightyear, the sexy Corn on the Cob, and even the sexy Hamburglar. But sometime in 2014, a costume store took it a little bit too far with the sexy Ebola containment suit, which apparently was pulled from the shelves after public outrage and criticism from medical professionals. Some other costumes that were banned, mostly for being tasteless and insensitive, were from tragedies that have happened throughout the world. Some of these include the victims of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, the Boston Marathon bombing, and even the Columbine massacre. And if you are going to go as one of those things, and somebody asks you what you're dressed as, just tell them that you're a zombie or a bear attack victim. I think those things would be better. So I read the story where this kid was actually banned from school for coming dressed as a banana. Apparently it was too disruptive to the class, and they kicked him out of school that day. It just goes to show that anything can pretty much be banned from school if your teacher is that much of an asshole. So to take away from all of this, when you decide to dress up for Halloween, be creative, be spooky, be weird, but if your costume requires you to apologize, it might be better to go as a vampire. Anyways, folks, that's pretty much it. I know it's only June, and Halloween isn't for a while, but it's all I think about. The holiday is pretty much a parasitic worm that burrowed its way into my brain, and it forces me to think about jack-o'-lanterns and skulls 24/7. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.